just need to stay prohibition, limitation. You just need to stay away.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I want to welcome everybody here to our series entitled Prohibited Imitations in Islam. And just to let everyone know, this weekend, today and tomorrow we will be at the end of this journey on the prohibitions of imitation, the prohibitions of imitation, because we are now at the last part of the book, which is speaking about imitating animals. And before I go over the hadiths for tonight, my hijab is popped. Can somebody tell me, what does it mean to imitate something? Because from the questions I got for my Q&A show yesterday, there's a lot of Muslims that still do not understand what it means to imitate something. What does it mean to imitate something? Can anyone answer that question for us, please? What does it mean to imitate something? Is there anybody here?
I'm here. You know, there's an old saying, monkey see, monkey do. Imitations means to do what you see others do.
Okay, I want you to give me the Islamic meaning. I don't want to hear what the Kafir say. When law says it's forbidden for us to imitate someone or imitate something, what does it mean Islamically? Because that's where we lose it. We don't understand that when it comes to our religious belief system, it means something different than what Webster would say or what the non-believers believe. Yeah, and for the non-believers, to imitate means to copy. Okay, but what do we mean when we say, for example, if I tell you that you're imitating the non-Muslims, what does that mean? What am I doing?
It means that I could celebrate their birthdays as they do, and we don't do that.
Give me a definition, though. Give me.
It means that if a child is born, I will celebrate the birth of that child.
No, not birthdays. After that. In general, don't give me, because somebody will say, what do you mean? I don't celebrate birthdays. So how you say I imitate a kafir? What does it mean to imitate a people or a person or a thing?
To imitate something that only them does. That person or thing. Is to imitate something that specific person does.
Exactly. Imitation in Islam means to do something that is specific to that person, that thing. Y'all understand? I'm doing something that only that people do, that only that animal does, that only that thing does. And imitation contradicts well better. How does it contradict well better? When you guys see how well better is the connection, that's that part of the Shahada that many of you Western Muslims don't know about, because you don't know, nobody taught y'all well better. If we understood what allegiance and disassociation means and how important it is, then we would stay away from that stuff. You know, as Muslims, our allegiance is to the religion of Islam and to Allah and to the Prophet. And we disassociate completely from anyone or anything that contradicts that. That's where imitation comes in. I cannot copy a thing. I cannot copy a person. I cannot copy a behavior. I cannot copy a saying that contradicts my belief system, my religion, my prophet, my Allah. Y'all understand that? Does it make sense now, Anissa? Y'all understand? See, that's why I say you got to throw in that well of what better is part of the Shahada. That's the part, the missing link of the Shahada that many Western Muslims don't know. That's why Western Muslims are tip-sided. They're not strong in their faith, many of them. They're tip-sided. They don't understand this religion well. They're making things haram that they can't do, and because they don't understand, they were never taught that part of that Shahada is to have allegiance to what we say we believe in. That means to hold firm to those things and to oppose anything that comes between it. So if I'm going to tell you that you're imitating an animal, what am I basically saying in Islam? What am I basically saying? If I see you making salat and I say, astaghfirullah, you are imitating an animal, what am I basically saying? Can anybody tell me? It's easy.
Basically, your movements, how you're positioning yourself, you attribute that to that animal itself.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that you're praying, the positions, the movements that you're doing in your prayer are specific to animals, not to how the prophet taught us to pray. So you're imitating an animal instead of praying the way our prophet Muhammad taught us to pray. Does everybody understand? So what would it mean if I tell you you're imitating the jinn? If I tell you that you're imitating the jinn, what am I basically saying to you? Okay, if I say you're imitating the jinn, what am I basically saying? If I look at my grandkid and I say, stop that, you're acting like the jinn, you're imitating the jinn, what am I basically saying?
The behavior of a jinn.
What about it? Give me a complete answer.
Like more, like say for instance, the behavior of acting like, I don't know how to put it,
It's
but
just
I'm
simple.
just like, okay.
If I say, Jayla, stop, you acting like the jinn. What am I telling her? You're doing something that the jinn do. And whatever it is that you're doing that the jinn do, it contradicts our belief system, our Islamic values, our Islamic morality. Y'all understand? That's the allegiance.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to have to train yourselves, Western Muslims, about what the Shahada. The Shahada does not mean I believe in God and he's only one word. It goes deeper than that. You're also saying I believe my allegiance is to Allah, to his religion. And I'm going to disassociate from anything that contradicts it. So if I tell my grandkids, astaghfirullah, look at you. You're behaving like a jinn. I'm telling them you're doing some behavior that is so disgusting that the jinn do. When our Lord taught us to do the opposite of them, to not be like them. Do y'all understand that? If I tell, so say for example, I look at you and I tell you you're imitating a man. What am I basically saying to you if I tell you you're imitating a man?
You're saying I'm doing things that a man does.
Yes, I'm telling you that you're doing something that is specific to a man when Islam teaches you that you're a woman and women behave differently. Y'all understand now? Your allegiance is to how Allah commanded you to behave. Allah didn't tell women to dress like that, to look like that, to be like that. Y'all understand? Let me give another example. I tell you that you're imitating an animal. You open your mouth and you start talking. And I tell you, astaghfirullah, you're imitating an animal. This is haram. What am I saying?
I'm doing some of the things that an animal does.
Exactly. Do y'all get it? It's not hard. The religion is easy. You're not copying these people, because how can you copy what you can't see? So I don't want you guys to use the word copy. Copy is a bad English word. The closest word to the Arabic word is you're doing something specific to them. So I don't want y'all to say copy, because you go to the wrong person and say you copying the jinn, they're going to say, who the heck are you? The jinn is part of the unseen world. So I want you guys to use the correct words too. To imitate does not mean to copy. That's what it means in English. In the Arabic, in the religion of Islam, to imitate something does not mean to copy them. It means to do something. Write this down. It means to do something or say something that is specific to a particular group. Y'all got it? Don't say copy. Copy is not the good English word. I tell y'all, Arabic is a language. The people do the best they can to break it down to you in English, but they do a terrible job. I'm doing a better job because I got a degree in English. All right? So, you're imitating a man. That means you're doing something, or you're saying something that is specific to a male, not a female. If I tell you that you're imitating an animal, you're doing something or you're saying something that's specific to an animal. When I gave the example of you talking, and I tell you imitating an animal, I say you're talking, you're imitating an animal, a chicken. That means you cluck, 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 cluck. Maybe your laughter is like a chicken. We don't laugh like chickens by clucking. Some people tell you you're imitating a hyena when you laugh. You're laughing like a hyena. We can't do that. We cannot take on the behavior or the actions of something other than what Allah created us to be. Do y'all understand? Allah created you to be a female human being. Stay in your place. He did not create you to be a male human being. He did not create you to be animal. That's why we don't tattoo ourselves. Because if you put a tattoo on yourself, you're changing the creation of Allah. Allah didn't create you to have things on you like that. Y'all understand? And by the way, imitation is another category of rejection of the qadr of Allah. Y'all see how everything is the shahada. Everything goes back to la ilaha illallah. People who imitate other creations are people who are discontent with the qadr or the decree of Allah. They are unhappy with how Allah created them. So you're going to put a tattoo of a rose on your face. You are unhappy. Allah didn't decree for you to have a rose on your face. He didn't make human beings with roses. He didn't make us with horns. So you are challenging Allah. You're showing discontent with his decree. Y'all understand that? Our actions and our behavior has to be on point, because this is why most of us are going to end up in hell. Because our actions, our behaviors were not on point. And as the prophet said, the pagans of our nation are those who reject the qadr. Most of us are discontent with Allah's decree. And that's why most of us are going to be in hell. That's sad, but it's powerful when you think about it. Most of us are going to be in hell. Why? Because we didn't fulfill our obligations, meaning we didn't do our prayers, we didn't fast Ramadan, and also most of us will be in hell because we rejected the qadr of Allah. We were discontent with Allah's decree. We changed his creation. We imitated others rather than be happy in your own skin. I'm a woman. That's why I tell you, brothers, you have to stop watering down this religion and breaking Muslim women. Allah didn't tell Muslim women to be ugly. Allah didn't tell us that we can't be attractive when we leave the house either. That goes against the nature of how Allah created us. Women love to beautify themselves, and we can beautify ourselves. In fact, every Muslim is supposed to, male and female, as long as we don't transgress the limits. And when you have daughters, it's your job as a parent to teach your daughters what is transgressing the limits and what is not. I know what I can do as a Muslim woman, and I don't transgress the limits. Right before class here, y'all see what I got on? This is a $10 beach dress I bought from Amazon. Yeah, this is what the kafir women. This ain't even really an abaya. This is a beach dress that the kafir women like to wear over their bikini at the beach. I got it for $10 off of Amazon last summer because I love it because it's bat wings. Okay? Pashima, courtesy of Jamila Pasha. Check her out. Check out her live show. Jamila Pasha, $10. And I look just like I got nothing on but my kohol. All I have on is kohol. The same way the prophet's wives dress. Kohol. I just left. Went to the store to get some stuff so I can cook today. I got out the car. I ain't dressed up. I'm minding my business, walking, we are dignified. I'm walking with my purse, and getting ready to go in the store and figure out if I can find me some kosher meat because I prefer kosher. And alhamdulillah, here in Cleveland, we got a lot of kosher because we got Orthodox Jews. So I'm going into the Giant Eagle, trying to find me some kosher sirloins so I can make this recipe off of YouTube. Y'all know I can't cook, but I love to experiment. It'll probably come out nasty, but it's okay. I can eat just the smell of it. But anyway, I'm minding my business, walking into the Giant Eagle. Some dude, African-American, had got out of his car and he saw me. I saw him out the corner of my eye because I'm always conscious. Keep my hand on my mace too. I saw him do this. He went, and then he followed me. So I said, uh-oh, here comes some dude. So I had my little purse, my little hand on my mace. I got it on the key ring. And I went to get a cart. He came up to me. He said, ma'am, I don't mean to, startle you. He said, but I just want to tell you. He said, it's a hot, beautiful, hot day here in the falls. He said, all these women walking around, different colors, different shades. Because I live in a multi-ethnic suburb. We got Arabs, we got Caucasians, we got Bosnians, we got all these people, Indians, everything. He said all these women walking around, different ethnicities. He said, and most of them don't have any clothes on. Because, it's hot. It's like real hot here. He said, and our humidity is off the hook. He said, and I just want to tell you, you are completely covered from head to toe. He said, and don't none of these women hold a candle to you. He said, and I know you are Muslim. He said, you really are beautiful. He said, and I'm saying it in a nice way because out of all these women, most of them are half naked. they don't hold a candle to you. He said, I just want to tell you that. He said, I'm not flirting. I'm not trying to pick you up. He said, I'm just, telling you. He said, I'm telling you kudos. And I said, well, thank you. I said, I appreciate it. By the way, I told him, you're probably young enough to be my grandson. I brag about my age. I told him I'm 63. He said, you're 63? I said, I'm 63 going on 100. I said, thank you and have a good day, sir. I said, and give my hello to your mom. And I walked away. We Muslim people have to be distinct. Why do you Muslim women, and a lot of these women, I got Arabs around me, Muslims, but they're not covered up. The Muslim women don't look no different than the non-Muslim women. They got on their shorts. They got on their sundresses. They got on their sandals because the humidity is off the hook. Here I am in my beach dress and my kimar, and who the man comes to and compliments. Not the naked ladies, that's his age. He comes to the old grandma and tells me that none of them young girls hold a candle to me, and I'm completely covered. Our religion makes us distinct. Our religion has been perfected for us by Allah. We dress the way we dress Muslim women to show our dignity, to show our humility. It's not about blending in, trying to imitate and be like the other women. It's about maintaining that dignity for Allah. Subhanallah. So, imitation. And it was pretty bad to see all the Muslim girls, because I know they all Muslim. They go to the mosque down the street from me. There's a mosque down the street from me. And I'm going to tell y'all what's going on. They had some soccer or something going on up there. And a lot of those kids that were running around, were coming from the soccer game that they got going on at the mosque down the street. But the girls ain't covered. And these are teenage girls. Those girls are way over puberty. They should have been covered. But it's on the parent. The parents are going to answer for that. The parents are going to answer for not teaching those kids what imitation means. The parents are going to answer for not teaching those children of theirs what better is. How it's all about having allegiance. And then when they see a Muslim woman like me, they hold their head down out of shame. Yeah, those girls were all Muslim, but they put their head down. They walked by me like this, ashamed, embarrassed. And by the way, guys, teach your daughters this too. It's a scientific fact. The less clothing that you wear, the hotter you are. I am cooler dressed in my abaya and kimar than they are dressed in their shorts and their halter tops. That's a fact. Teach your daughters that. Subhanallah. So today what we're going to do, what Sheikh Atlee does in his book, he talks about how we imitate the animals when it comes to our prayers. And I really love these hadiths that he put together, because you get to see exactly what it means when we say you're imitating an animal. If I say don't imitate a fox when you pray, if I say don't sit like a monkey, if I say don't drink like a diseased camel, don't drink like a dog swallowing its vomit, you get to see. Okay, so let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Yeah. One of the people here typed, you live here too? Yeah, it's hot, but it's okay. I love the hot weather. One of the brothers here said he lives in the falls too. You at the mosque down the street from me? Yeah, they got something going on down there. I don't know what's going on at the mosque down there. But those girls need to cover it up. If you at that mosque, you better tell the imam of that mosque, he better get them girls to cover it up. They way past puberty. Those are teenagers. It's a bad look. Muslims, everybody know that that's a mosque right there. We got all these other nationalities and ethnic people around here. And when they see the Muslim girls look like that, and they see me and I'm dressed like this, that's a bad look. So maybe you should talk to the imam of the masajid. You know, my best friend, she's the president of CARE. Maybe I should call my best friend because she's the president of CARE. I'm sure she can get the message to him. Oh, yeah. All right. All right, let me put this up, guys. Hold on. May Allah bless you, brother. I mean, yeah. May keep me in your dua too. He said that his wife and his daughters love watching me and listening to me. May Allah bless your wife and your daughters too. Make sure your daughters are covering up. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me share my screen with you guys here. Small world. I tell you, I got more and more people over here where I live at that listen to me now. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm going to have to call my best friend. She's the president of CARE. Yeah. All right, guys. Here, look at the PowerPoint. Okay, let me share it this way too. Just make it one. And watch, look at these hadiths. You brothers and sisters, but you brothers pay attention to these hadiths, and I want you to ask yourself, are you an animal or are you praying like a human being? What Sheikh Ali did is go through the Sitta and he selected all these hadiths are authentic hadiths in which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had to correct the companions because when they were doing actions that were specific to certain animals when praying, instead of praying the way the Prophet taught them to pray. And the number one thing that people were doing and still do today is pecking like a rooster or pecking like a crow. You know how if you throw the food down on the ground, the rooster, the crow, the chicken is going to put his head down and start pecking. Listen to what Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anha said. He said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told me, commanded me to do three things. And he forbade me from doing three things. He commanded or ordered for me to pray the duha prayer every day. He also commanded me to perform the witr before going to bed. And he also commanded me to fast 3 days out of every month. The things that he forbade me from doing, he forbade me from pecking like a rooster. And he also forbade me from sitting like a dog sits. And he also forbade me from turning around like a fox does when I'm praying. And we're going to go over all of these actions today. I'm going to show you what they look like. Okay? But I want you guys to understand something about this hadith. Abu Hurairah is not telling us that it's obligatory to pray the duha prayer. He's not saying that it's obligatory to make witr or to fast 3 days out of each month either, because none of that stuff is obligatory. But this was some advice. The companions used to go to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they used to ask him to advise them or tell them things that they can do to make them stronger and better people. And these are the 3 things the Prophet told Abu Hurairah to do. He told him, you don't want to be like so-and-so. Another companion used to pray the witr prayer every night, but then he stopped. And because he stopped doing it, he lost the ultimate reward. And that companion was Ibn Umar he was talking about, because they were children. Remember, Abu Hurairah and them were kids. And Ibn Umar used to pray the word of prayer. Then he stopped. He ended up going back to it later. But he had stopped for a moment. And the prophet was telling him, you know, he lost the ultimate reward because he stopped. Allah likes for us to be consistent. So he told Abu Hurairah, don't do like Ibn Umar. He said, you want to make witr every night. Don't do it for a short time and stop because you want the ultimate reward. He said, and also pray the duha prayer. The duha prayer is the morning prayer. It begins after the sun rises. And you have up until dhuhr to pray it. He said, this is a good prayer. Allah will reward you. He will give you charity for every joint of your body if you do it. And you don't want to just do it one time. Do it every day. So these were things that the Prophet suggested to Abu Hurairah to keep him strong as a Muslim. He wasn't saying that these are obligations. And on the other hand, he told him, you want to make your prayer perfected too. So when you pray, don't peck like a rooster, and don't sit like a dog, and don't turn around like a fox does. I'm going to break these actions down in another hadith. So again, this hadith shows how as Muslims, some of us pray like animals. So if I tell my granddaughter, you praying like a rooster, that means she's too fast. She's pecking the ground too fast. You didn't stay in sujood long enough. If I tell her you're praying like a fox, the fox is always looking over his shoulder out of nervousness. So now you looking over like a fox. This is not the way we're supposed to pray. We're human beings. We're supposed to take our time and pray the way the Prophet taught us. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? Also, guys, for those of you who do have the problem of pecking like a rooster, and don't be afraid to own up to it. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Layla used to peck like a rooster. There was many times that my stepfather would slap me on the back of my neck and make me go make my prayer over because I used to rush through it. I wouldn't even touch the floor. I'd be so quick pecking like a rooster. My stepfather would pop, get up and make your prayer over. It's not acceptable. So don't be afraid to own it up to yourself. Admit to yourself that you fall in this category. Slow it down. Because also, guys, pecking or rushing through the prayer, this is also a characteristic of the hypocrites. And that's what made me stop doing it. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said to Anas. Anas was another one of the children. Just like Abu Hurairah and Ibn Umar were kids, so was Anas. The Prophet said to him, shall I not tell you of the prayer of the hypocrite? The hypocrite, he doesn't pray the Asa prayer until the sun is setting. And then he'll jump up and peck like a rooster, rushing through it, only mentioning Allah a little bit. How many of us do that? You know it's time for Asr. You're going to wait until the sun is setting. Now you're going to jump up and try to rush through your prayer. And by the way, I put this picture on the screen for a reason. Can anybody tell me what time of prayer is this? Look at this picture. What prayer is this? What prayer is in at this time in this picture, guys? What's this prayer?
It look like Maghrib.
Is it Maghrib? Anybody else?
Oh.
Look at the color of the sky.
Is it Asr?
That's Asr. Whenever you see the yellow in the sky, that's how you know it's time for Asr. Real easy. Maghrib, what would you see in the sky at Maghrib time? Can anybody tell me?
Isn't the shadows?
No.
Red.
What color would the sky
red.
be for Maghrib?
Red.
Yes, red.
Red.
Red is Maghrib. Yellow is Asr. I taught you guys the shadow if you're in the woods. This is a sky scene. It's easy. Whenever you see the yellow at the horizon, that's how you know it ain't sunrise, because it's at the bottom. If it was at the top, you know something different. This is the horizon. This is Asr. This is how it looks when y'all look at the sky. If it's not cloudy and you see the yellow on the horizon like that, that's the beginning of Asr. That's when and you can see the shadows on the buildings. You can't see those shadows, Mina? The buildings got shadows at the bottom. But the sky is the giveaway here. Okay? A lot of people don't pray when the sky is like this. They wait until the red. If there was red at the bottom, what is that telling you? That's telling you that it's almost time for my grip. You see, some people will wait till the red is at the bottom of the horizon, and then they're going to jump up and try to make Asr. It's too late now, and you're going to rush through it. Listen to what Abu Abdullah al-Ash said. He said the Prophet once made prayer with his companions, and then he sat with them. And a man entered and got up to pray. He started to make bowing, and then he pecked. Instead of him touching the floor in his sujood, he pecked himself down. And the Prophet said, do y'all see what that man just did? He said, whoever dies praying like that, this is a person that has died upon something other than the religion of the Prophet. He said, pecking like a crow, pecks at blood. This is a hypocrite. You rushing through the prayer like that. So we got to be careful with that. And this is something that my stepfather, may Allah forgive him of his sins and make his grave spacious. Ameen, ameen. You know, my stepfather used to have to get on me a lot about that when I was a kid, up until I was 14 years old. From the time I was 6 to the time I was 14, that was my biggest problem, pecking. And when he told me this is a sign of the hypocrite, that's when I stopped. Because I hate hypocrites. I've always hated hypocrites. And I didn't want to be one. So I would make myself take my time. Okay? But this is Asr. Y'all remember that sky. Yellow at the bottom is Asr. All right. Also, the Prophet told us in another hadith, the person that rushes through his prayer and doesn't prostrate properly is not only like a rooster, but the people that don't complete the bowing properly, they're also thieves. It's like you're stealing. You're stealing from your own. Wait a minute. Hold on. I messed up the screen share. I'm sorry. I was trying to show y'all the picture and I clicked on the wrong. But is it showing on it? No, it ain't. Let me. Hold on. Oh, y'all can see it? Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, it's there on YouTube. Okay, let me know if YouTube will go into the full screen because what about Zoom? Y'all can't see. Yeah. I was trying to show y'all with my mouse. Okay, hold on. I got to move this box. This Zoom box gets in the way. Hold on. And I can't click on the hold on. The current. I was trying to show y'all something. Oh, that messed me up. Okay. The person that rushes through the prayer is a person that steals from his prayer. We have the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the worst thief is the one who steals from his own prayer. And one of the companions asked, how can a person, hear that Zoom thing in a way, a person asked, how can a person steal from his own prayer? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, by not completing the ruku', by not prostrating properly. Now, when we do the ruku' position, guys, you're supposed to bow. Your hands should be over your knees. Your back should be straight. Don't just pretend to bow and jump up. You want to hold it Hold it for a few seconds and say, your supplication. And by the way, you can recite your personal supplication in Ruku'ah too. That's another question one of the brothers here asked me. Yes, your personal supplications can be recited in Ruku'ah and in Sujood. Okay? But you have to bend, bow, and hold it for a few seconds. Let your body come to rest. And when you prostrate, you want to make sure your forehead, your nose, the palm, all fingers and palm of your hand is on the floor and your knees and toes. If you don't do the position correctly, you're stealing from your prayer. What are you stealing? You're stealing rewards. That means you're not going to walk away with a complete reward for that prayer. You may have 2 rewards or 3 rewards, but you won't have the 100. Listen to what Salman al-Farsi said. He said, prayer is like a scale. If a person gives full measure and weight, he will receive the same. But if he commits a half measure, half weight, then he's defrauding himself. So that's the same thing. If you're going to half prostrate, half do the bowing, you're going to walk away missing reward from that prayer. Does everybody understand that? So you brothers and sisters have to make sure you bow, your hands over your knees, your back straight, and let yourself rest, and then come up. And when you prostrate, the same thing. And look at this picture. This is how a rooster or a crow looks when they peck. You see how they so quick. Imam Malik said everything has its full and due measure. And everything has its opposite too. And if Allah promises woe or punishment for those guilty of not giving full measurement or full weight in matters of property, what do you think he's going to do to those people who cheat or steal from their prayer? So we have to be careful, guys. We also have another hadith where Amir ibn Rashid al-Laythi, he said, by Allah, when I prayed in front of Miswar ibn Makrama, I prayed like a young person does with like the pecking of a rooster. So he crawled over to me and he said, get up and go pray again. And I said, I already prayed. He said, may Allah heal you. You're lying. You never prayed. That prayer is not accepted. And there's many other hadiths like this, guys, showing the seriousness of rushing through the prayer. We have to take our time. We have to have tranquility, calmness. Everything we do has to be done with dignity, humility, and balance. Now, take a look at this picture. Brother Maine, y'all know who this is? Does it look like one of your husbands? Hello, Boss Daddy. Magilla Gorilla. How many of y'all married to somebody like this? Seriously. There's a lot of y'all married to men like this. Islam forbids us, guys, from sitting like a dog or sitting like a monkey. Wallahi, when I made Hajj, I'm not gonna lie, it was the worst experience of my life. Do y'all know how many men I saw sitting like this on Hajj? I remember the man I was married to, Old Maine said, look over there. You see how he's sitting? And I'll never forget. I said, look at that silverback dude. He looked just like a silverback monkey, a silverback gorilla. Well, listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Abu Huraira, He tells us that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade sitting like a dog. He also forbade sitting like a monkey or a gorilla. And how do they sit? Just like this, with your feet on the ground, your legs up so your private parts can be seen. And by the way, guys, this is also how the jinn sit. This is not only imitating the dogs and monkeys, where you can see their private parts, but you also imitating the jinn. This is the way the jinn like to sit. They sit this way all the time with their dreadlocks. When I made Hajj, I couldn't believe it. Men sitting on the ground, right there in the ground in the Prophet's mosque, just like that. Legs up, private parts on the ground. Can y'all believe that? Also, one of the companions of the Tabi'een tells us, we asked Ibn Abbas about sitting on the feet when we pray. He said, this is from the Sunnah. Y'all know how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would do his foot, one foot down, the other foot up. That's very hard to do. So one of the Ibn Abbas's students, the Tabi'een, asked him, he said, we can't sit that way. It's so hard to do. And that's when Ibn Abbas said, that's why it's a sunnah. It's not an obligation, because everybody can't put their foot that way. Okay? But what is forbidden is for us to sit on the ground with your butt on the ground, your legs up, your feet on the ground like this gorilla, like Brother Silverback here. That's disgusting. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. Tomorrow, I'm going to complete this book by Why didn't y'all tell me the page turned? Nobody told me. Let me show y'all that picture, people on YouTube. This is what I'm talking about. Where's the people on Zoom? Why didn't y'all let me know? I asked y'all, was it corrected?
We seen the monkey on YouTube.
Y'all saw the monkey on YouTube?
Yeah.
Why come in? Was it my computer froze then? Okay, good. Okay. All right, well, good. Okay. But yeah, guys, I'm telling you, when you make Hajj, you see all kind of crazy stuff. I saw a lot of men sitting like that, their private parts right there on the ground. It's pathetic. Because you know how the men dress when they make Hajj.